Now imagine calling yourself a comedian just to have to constantly apologize for your unfunny actions, from saying the N-word on a rap Christmas song and using blackface on several skits to selling out as a political pawn, attacking Donald Trump, and most recently going after Aaron Rodgers over a joke. Jimmy Kimmel, welcome to the hot seat. You can't turn on the television at night without coming across a late-night show. Whether it's Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, Andy Cohen, or our boy Jimmy Kimmel, all programs follow the same plot. They talk about current events while adding a comedic side to it. However, the word comedy is used loosely, as most of the jokes are followed by a forced round of applause from a live audience. These jokes are so brutally painful to listen to that it makes me think that people who tune in to watch these jokes are dead inside. I will give him props though, for I've actually enjoyed watching some of his mean tweet segments.
If an alien landed here and demanded a famous person to eat, I'd drive straight to Adam Sandler's house with a net. Now,
Anyway, moving on. Jimmy started out in radio, having landed his first paid gig in 1989. Not even a year later, he would be fired from his first job at KZOK and then fired again a year after from WBarbecue FM. Fast forward to 1996. Jimmy came under fire after releasing a song with Snoop Dogg labeled Christmas Time in the LBC, where he drops the N-word.
In a sleigh giving shits away. Yeah. Christmas time in the LBC. I got a gift for your ass. What did you get me? Mother, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I told that motherfucker Santa bring a pic for my afro. And here's the rest on my Christmas list. I want a black mother sis. And for my homies down the way, I say bring a gang and take a race. Bring that shit for Dr. Dre.
In 1997, he was offered a spot on the show Win Ben Stein's Money on Comedy Central. During his time with Comedy Central, Jimmy partook in a blackface skit depicting basketball legend Karl Malone as well as Oprah. In 2003, Kimmel began hosting his own late-night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Being the face of a nationally televised show, you would assume he would watch what kind of content he puts out. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
I've stuffed something in my pants, and you're allowed to feel around on the outside of the pants. You have 10 seconds to then guess what is in my pants. You should use two hands. Two hands. You've done this before, haven't you? Maybe it would be easier if you put your mouth on it.
Kimmel further stepped into the dark side by turning into a political pawn during the Trump presidency, often taking shots at him, his family, and his presidential decisions. It was clear that Kimmel and the network had an agenda to mock Trump and invalidate everything he was doing. This feud would continue throughout Trump's presidency.
Donald Trump was in court again today. Trump spent so much time in court, the sketch artists are running out of orange pastels.
The most recent feud Jimmy has been seen to have is with NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Jimmy originally poked fun at Rodgers back in 2021 when Rodgers refused to get the mandated COVID vaccine. He said, "Nothing says I heal myself with crystals like this haircut, that little knot on top." He continued by saying Aaron is a Karen, that's the fact of the matter. The following year, after Rodgers stated that President Biden wasn't the rightful winner of the 2020 election, Kimmel attacked again, stating that Rodgers' claims were befitting to a man who's been hit in the head a lot of times. The Rodgers and Kimmel feud made headline news again after Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and name-dropped Jimmy Kimmel while discussing the list of names reportedly connected with Jeffrey Epstein's island flight log.
Did you hear this story about me and Aaron Rodgers, the former quarterback for the Packers? All right, so what happened is he's a Jets quarterback now. He went on a show on ESPN, the Pat McAfee show, and out of the blue insinuated that I was nervous because the Jeffrey Epstein list was coming out. He said I was hoping it wouldn't, and that he was going to pop a bottle of something to celebrate.
But Heard Kimmel replied on X, formerly Twitter, by saying, "Dear a-hole, for the record, I've not met, flown with, visited, or had any contact whatsoever with Epstein, nor will you find my name on any list, other than the clearly phony nonsense that soft-brained wackos like yourself can't seem to distinguish from reality." As someone who has made a career of poking fun at everyone without any repercussions, it's pure irony when someone actually claps back and gives him a taste of his own medicine. He can't even take it. Kimmel went as far as threatening to sue Rodgers, which is a ridiculous action to take, as a self-labeled comedian. Looking at his TV show reviews, it is clear that his audience is finally waking up and Realizing how terrible his show has become, the majority of his 10 out of 10 ratings were from the first few seasons. But as time passed, you can see how his reviews have dropped, with these being the most recent ones. Kimmel the Clown needs to either learn to take it as he dishes it out or go back to radio, or hopefully he'll disappear into obscurity. What are your thoughts on Jimmy Kimmel? Does he deserve all the hate he gets? Comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be alerted when the next video drops.